Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today is something a little bit different. Typically, I film my life Monday through Friday, and you get to see everything that I do in a day, usually as a stay-at-home mom of a lot of kids. But today I thought, why don't I show what I do on a weekend, which is usually a little bit different. Sometimes the same things, but I don't typically get up super early on the weekend. My morning, I usually get up about 4:30, 5 o'clock during the week just so I can get everything I need to get done. But Saturday and Sunday, I sleep in a little bit. So sleep in to me is about 6:30, 7 o'clock. First thing I do is come out to get some coffee to start my day and then head over to my desk to get some work done. Usually I like to work in the morning when it's quiet and getting most of my work done. But I typically will sit down and then some kitty cat is scratching at the door because they are ready for breakfast. So right now, little Chi-Chi was out there, and that's our little girl kitty, and she's needing some food. So gave her some kitty cat food here, and then the other two kitties, they will come back when they are ready for some food. So we've just got little Wheezies ice cream buckets for water. Works really good for them. It's easy for the kids to pick up versus the metal dishes. And then Ruby, she's an early dog too, so she's ready for her food. So I'm scooping out some dog food. We keep them in plastic drawers, which you've seen before. And then I will take this out to Ruby so that she can get food. I put a couple dog treats in there, one dropped on the floor there, and then bring it out to Ruby. And then she is happy eating her food in the morning. She's always very happy, ready in the morning, look at me in my face. And then I take her water here. The raccoons come out, and they get in that water and they get it nice and dirty and muddy. So rinsing this out for her so she can have some fresh water, and she's just happy to be out and about in the morning here. So I'm getting her food and water, and then she is good to go for her day just to start and begin. Then she goes off and is a dog during this time. So then I'm going to go back in, and then I can hopefully start my day. So I like to sit at my desk. First thing I do usually, I'm reading a book right now. So I'm reading a chapter of this book just to get a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more things. You know, you want to do better in your life. Spend some time in learning. You know, whatever you invest your time is where you're going to excel in life. And so I like to read and get some information. I always like to read my Bible and find the scriptures that I'm reading. I'm reading the book of John right now. So just going through and reading different things that we learned in church this week as well, just to reiterate it a little bit. And then I take some time for prayer and just going through the different things I'm praying for that week and having some quiet time with God before I start my day. And then put all my stuff away. And then here's a little video of Maxine in the floor. She always sits next to her mommy, making sure I'm good to go. So typically I'll sit at my desk and I will get all my work done, and there's usually always food and everything for everybody to eat. But this particular morning, there was nothing to eat for breakfast, just cereal. So I thought I wanted to make some of those sausage balls, but I wanted to do a little bit different, and I wanted to make some eggs up. So I always make the typical way that we eat them down here is just with breakfast sausage, cheese, and Bisquick mix. But one of my viewers told me to add cream cheese to it, and I thought, let me try that. So I'm putting my sausage in the food processor here. So much better than mixing it up. Now mine was a little bit frozen, so I was hoping to make sure I could get all the chunks out, which I did. That worked out really, really good. So much easier. It's messy to clean it, so make sure you can put it in your dishwasher afterwards, but it's so much better than mixing it with the mixer. So you just add a block of cream cheese to this mixture, and then just put that lid on it and make sure you grind it all up. This was a game changer. I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but definitely will not do this without cream cheese anymore. So just kind of mix that around there till everything's good, real good. And then you're going to add some cheese to it. So I'm just going to add some shredded cheese. I used to use black cheese. Realized the shredded cheese works just fine. So add about a cup of cheese to it. So it's a block of cream cheese, a package of breakfast sausage, 1 cup of shredded cheese, and 2 cups of Bisquick. So I'm just mixing this really good. I wasn't sure at first if I would just have to add the 2 cups or if I'd have to add more, because with the cream cheese it would make it more gooier, and because I was reading online, but I did not have any issue with that. We put ours in the air fryer, so I didn't notice that it didn't like spread out or do anything at all. It just stayed really nice and cooked really well together. I'm going to roll them out into balls here. So we used our air fryer last night. The kids like to use this and did not clean it, and that's okay. It's just burned on food. So I just roll these out into golf ball size balls, real simple in here, and just put them on here. These were, you know what, we living down south here, like everybody has sausage balls. It seems like for every gathering, every little get together, there is sausage balls. And I'm like, I've never had those in my life. And so they're good. We've added them to it. I don't mind them just the plain way without the cream cheese, but I found they were just kind of dry once in a while, and I'm like, they're okay, but they do get dry. Well, then I discovered, you know, it makes some sausage gravy to go with it, and you can dip them like an appetizer. I'm like, genius. I'm like, that is so much better. And so very glad to discover that realm of the sausage ball thing. So I just roll these out. I was thinking maybe the gooiness would make it bad, but I had no issues with them. They turned out so good. So just put them in your air fryer. I wanted to get a batch done before, just real quick, because I had some that wanted to eat right away. So I threw that one in real quick while I was making the other roll here. I realized I'm like, I could throw a few more on that rack before I close up the air fryer. So I was sticking some on the edge, which you can't even see because the camera's not panned over there. But then I just turned it on. I was putting on 350 for about 20 minutes, and then I can continue making them right here. So, but these are really good. I'm excited just to continue making these. We were doing these for a while, and then, like I said, one of my viewers said put cream cheese in there, and I'm like, oh, that actually is a really good idea. Game changer for sure. So just continue rolling out your balls here. Real simple to make. And just do this. You can also bake them in the oven. Now, when I was reading the reviews online, they were saying that you had to chill your dough first if you're going to bake them in the oven, because they want to get smushy and go flat. But I don't know if that would do that or not, because I'm just cooking mine in my air fryer here. So they said if you chill them, like, so you take these and put them on a cookie sheet and freeze them. Basically make them very chilled, and then they would be fine. But I don't know if that's the case or not. Some put them on parchment paper. I'm not sure what you have to do, but air fryer for me works amazing for all of this. So I'm just cleaning up my blades here. That's the only bad thing, is like the food processor gets very yucky, and it's just greasy, so it's just harder to clean. So I always make sure that this goes into the dishwasher so it can get a really good cleaning and not just a hand cleaning, because getting that grease up there is always so hard to do. So just keep making the rest of those balls. And just put them in your air fryer here. The top rack cooks them much faster, obviously, because it's closer to the heat source, but I usually put them on the top just to get them nice and brown, and then move them on down and like rotate them around as I'm cooking them. And this is just a package of sausage gravy. I used it last time for the same thing I'm making now. I used half of it because we didn't need to use all of it. And so I'm just putting it in here with a cup of water, cold water, just mix it up really good, and then put it in the microwave till it thickens. And then I decided I have a lot of leftover vegetables and meat and some oven fries, and so I was going to make basically some omelets. And so I thought, why don't I make a bigger breakfast today? So I've got, this is that Euro meat here. It had a little bit of the fat in the bottom as it was getting cool. So I'm like, I have to get myself a metal spoon here and scrape this out. But then this will allow me to just use this in here for like the greasy part of it and get it nice and oily as you're cooking everything. So I'm just taking it to gather your fragment breakfast, putting that in there, which works out really good. We had a whole nother container here, so I thought, let me throw this in here. It's basically like having steak, like steak and eggs, I guess, with your thing. This meat is so versatile. I absolutely love this meat here. So I'm putting this in here, and then we had some mushrooms left over, so I'm scooping out some mushrooms to put those in here as well, because I didn't want anything to go to waste. And then we had some peppers too, and peppers and onions chopped up that we used for things. So I'm taking those, putting them in here, but they're more in strips. So I didn't want to like have big long strips of onion in there. So I was chopping them with my scissors and then putting them in the pan so that they're more diced up. I could have put them you can cut them on a cutting board, but you know what? It works really good just to do it right here. So I've got this in here, and then just going to keep heating this up, which is really good. It's like, because it's already cooked, it just needed to be warm in here. And then we also had some French fries here. So there was a few oven fries that I had left over, not enough for anybody to really eat, and they probably wouldn't really eat them because they're kind of smushy after you reheat them. So I was just chopping those up and putting them in there. This was a really great way to use up all of our leftover food here for breakfast, and I was really glad. So some kids like it, not everybody likes omelets like this, but Greg and I ate it, and we had a friend eat it, and then a couple of the other ones will come up and say, yeah, that's good to eat. But for the most, they just like the plain stuff. So just putting this in here, chopping it up, and heating it up on the stove. I was like using every single fragment up to get it to go here, which worked out good. I didn't have to season it because they were all really seasoned very well. And then I even had some bacon bits, so I thought, let me put some bacon bits in here to add a little bit more flavor. And that works out really good. So I'm letting that heat on the stove here, and then I'm opening up my eggs, and then I just start cracking them just in a little bowl. I could have used a mixing bowl, but I've always used like a little cereal bowl. I don't know why, I just did. So I think I did 4 eggs here as I'm doing them here. I'm going to count 3, I'm thinking 4. I did 4 eggs here, and that made a really nice size omelet. So doing those eggs here, putting the rest in the trash, and then just mixing these ones up just with a fork, not having adding water or any other milk or anything to it. Just makes it really good, easy eggs. So just whipping this up. And then my vegetable mixture is all heated up thoroughly. I'm sitting here talking away, talking away to Greg here about the morning that. So then this is all heat up. I'm just going to put this right here in a bowl so we can add it. I'm doing it a little bit backwards, but that's okay. I'm just doing it just because I know not everybody will eat it. So there's grease enough in the pan. So all I'm going to do is put the eggs in here, and this will just cook really nice in there. So just scramble it up, put it in here. If you don't do omelets very good, like I haven't done it with these pans at all, and I have a different flipper. I usually use a metal flipper. So it was a little bit more difficult to flip it. And I'm like, I'm going to be the failure at flipping this. So I was doing my best to get it, but it did like kind of get stuck over. But I'm like, that's okay. We're going to eat it up. And you can do what you can do. So I'm like, it works. So then here's these that came out of the air fryer. Delicious. They were so, so good. I will always use cream cheese with these because they are that good as a breakfast food. Absolutely love it this way. I can't wait to make some more of these, especially for family and stuff when they come to visit, just to have it because I know that it tastes so, so good and just an easy way. They stick to these sheets. I need to spray my sheets down. I always forget. Every time I make them, I'm like, I forget. Spray the liners of your air fryer, but I will. And this is it. With so good. All right, back to my eggs. I got this one. I'm like, flip. Not bad. And then it stuck just a little bit. So you try. That's all you can do is try. Another easy way to do it is turn your oven on, broil. And when you cook one side, when that's pretty much cooked, just take it and put it in the oven for a few minutes, and that works out really good. So here's my little omelet here. It's got the little crack in it, but that works out. You do what you can do. And then I just put on it the mixture on top. And this was so, so, so good. And then put some, I think I got some cheese out here. I did get some cheese out here. So I'm going to do some shredded cheese on top and just put some in here, whatever you want to use for yours. You don't have to use cheese at all. And then I stuck some gravy on top because I know that makes it just a little bit more delicious on there. Just right across the top, and then the heat from the eggs and all that will definitely melt the cheese on there. And then just flip it up to fold it in half, and look, you got an omelet without having an omelet, without having to really make it and cook it all on the stove, so in pieces. And when you eat it, you cut it all up anyway. So there you go. That looks really, really good. And then I put a few sausage balls on the side of it. And then that was breakfast. That was Greg's breakfast right there. He enjoyed it very much, thought it was delicious. And then I made one for myself. So I've got my eggs going over here. I threw mine in the oven for just a few minutes just to broil it because I'm like, all right, I can't do this. I don't want to. I used to use, like I said, a metal scraper. I just need to get the right spatula for it. Salt and pepper on here as well. And then here I go, I flipped it, and I'm like, yes, I got mine pretty good. I'm chatting away here, so doing the voiceover is different because I'm like, usually I talk into my camera and get my points in, but today I was busy making food. So I like feta cheese on mine. That's my favorite. I love feta cheese. So I would put some feta cheese on here. And then I had some diced tomatoes left over from our dinner that we had last night. So I thought, let me put some tomatoes in here. I think that's so good. I love salsa on mine as well. So I thought, let me use all these up and gather those fragments, right? Because nobody's going to use those. So I'm just making sure to separate from the liquid there. I'm just going to cook this on here. I do end up adding all the other ingredients to it as well, but this worked out really good just to put on here for a few minutes. And then I go get the wonderful, delicious mixture and put some on here. This was so good. Forgot good omelet taste. When we went to Frankenmuth back in Michigan, they had at the hotel, they served a really good omelet like this, and it was just gigantic and delicious and filling, and this reminds me of it so much. So there was my dinner. Breakfast, not dinner. We're not having dinner. We're having breakfast right now. So I've got mine right here and delicious. Sat down to eat it. It was so good. So we sat there for a little bit, chatted and talked, and then I'm like, okay, I need to get on my day. So first thing, after Greg left, I went outside and got our pool going. So that's one of the first things I have to do right away is we've run our pool filter day in and day out, 24 hours a day. So you just have to make sure that you backwash and rinse it, which I did here. So it's staying so good. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even think, like I thought I'd have to give the pump a rest, but I realized, you know what? You just run it 24/7 and it works out really good. So it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. I'm hoping so. Get outside there, maybe enjoy some of that sunshine and blue sky day. So then after that was done, I went back inside to get the work that I need to get done. So typically Saturdays are a working day at the computer for me. So this is where it's very boring for you guys because there's not a lot of action. I'm not really doing a whole lot for you to see, but for myself, I'm getting a lot done. So I usually go and do my blog. I have a blog that I do. I blog before I vlog, so I don't really add things to it or blog post and that, but I do go over there and check comments and questions that people ask me over there, because this is where I offer like a free homeschool curriculum. I know, like, going back to school, there'll be a lot more questions and stuff over there. So usually every Saturday I go over there and answer comments and, you know, get any information I need to get to anybody. So this is where I'll sit and do this over here, which is really good. And then I will also check emails and get things done that I need to get done as well. And then I usually go through and make sure all my videos that I'm doing has a thumbnail for them. Now, thumbnails are probably the worst thing. I do not like doing thumbnails whatsoever. Not my favorite thing in life. But I used to just do them on an app on my phone. And then I was like, you know what? I started using Canva. So got Canva and started making my thumbnails, and they're trying to be consistent with them and trying to at least make them look similar the days that I have them do. Consistency is key, but I'm like, okay, just got to make a thumbnail. And I guess it's easier if you're doing a video maybe once a week where you can have more time to think about it. But for me, I'm doing one every single day. And so I'm like, okay, I need to get a thumbnail. And I always forget to pose for one when I'm making a video. Sometimes I remember, but not always. So usually I have to take like a screenshot of everything as we're as I'm editing the video. So just going through and doing that here. And so, and our internet is so slow, so slow. So sometimes, like, I would sit here, I like to get up super early and start my day really early because the internet is much better because nobody's on it. In the morning it tends to be easier, but sometimes, like today, it's like a little bit later in the day, so it's kind of up and moving, and it just seems like it is a whole lot slower. So it takes me 2 to 3 times as longer. So normally I could be done with my computer work in a good half hour with good internet, get it all done. But today it's going to take me about 2 hours. I know, that's just crazy. So that's not very exciting for you whatsoever, because I'm just sitting here on my laptop and you're like, Amy, this isn't very good footage because all we're doing is seeing you do this. I know, this is how my life is. So I said, but this is how it goes. I'm like, I'm just sitting here and I'm getting my work done. So it's just how it is. So sometimes I decide, do I want to go drive away and go get better internet? So sometimes that's always an option where I'm like, should I go somewhere else and get it done to get it done faster? Or do I just sit here and suffer through the couple hours to get it done? And so, like right now, I'm listening to another sermon that I'm watching as well at the same time, and then getting that in while I'm doing my computer work. And it just, you know, you just do what you can do. So, and then normally I don't do any extra housework on the weekends, but myself, I needed laundry. I was completely out of laundry. So the dryer was full. I had to take out a child's laundry, and then I did my own. So got my own here, and I usually hang up all of my shirts and my dresses. I just do that. I don't put them in the dryer. So getting everything out so I can do that, and then I'll put the rest in the dryer. So normally the weekend, it's just, if I had any, that's when I do it. And sometimes if we have to do towels or something, I might do a load of towels, but that's not the typical weekend. Usually I like to get my work all done during the week, and even food all done during the week. But this weekend, obviously, we didn't, because there was nothing to eat, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens. So I don't mind being a normal housewife and making food on Saturday morning, but it's just that I like to spend my days doing something else usually as well. So getting all this done here, I got to change my dryer vent out and putting those in. Usually it's just like my leggings and undergarments that have to go in there, and any undershirts, which is nice in pajamas. Pajamas, however you say it. Who says it that way? Some of my kids say pajamas. We say pajamas. I guess it just depends on where you're from and which the wording. I laugh because some people, you know, talk there like, you say things so different. I'm like, I know, but I'm from the north, live next to Canada. That's how they say a lot of their words, is with that A sound in a lot of things. And so my kids, I have some that are more Southern talking than Northern talking. So we always are like, my pajamas, you know, they'll say, are like, oh no, it's just your pajamas. What are you talking about? So the fun things we do within the family. So I'm hanging everything up here. I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, do I shove them in the sides of the washer here? And I was going to do that. And I started putting them like, there's not a lot of airflow in there. And so at the end here, I decide to just take them off, and I actually hang them up on the bar on the top because that's a really sturdy bar for the door here. So I'm like, I'm like, you know what, let's just take them out of here. So got those out, putting them at the top here. So that's it. That's my typical Saturday morning. I usually like to get everything done so that no matter what we decide to do for the day, like I'm finished with the work that I have to accomplish for my day. So now we might just stay home, chill in the pool, or do some yard work and things around the house, or get out and go hiking or do something exploring as a family. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Starts to fade, feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken, and take this weight off my shoulders, cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken, and I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade, feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. Will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread